I am Vinnie Tortorich. Folks, your good intentions have been stolen, but don't worry. I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and succulent at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you will be lean and mean, guaranteed. Just like the woman on the other mic. I'm talking about the beautiful Miss Gina Grad. We were talking about like hair bands in the early 90s off the air in between shows. That's the show we need to release, but I would never be able to work in this business again.
Oh, no, you're right.
No.
I'm still, my heart is not pumping correctly from some of the things you told me.
Yeah, we it was the 90s, right?
Yeah.
It was the 90s in LA.
But if you're a guy, then, like my husband or just a guy in general, your wife had no past. She was a virgin till she met you.
Yeah,
You,
pretty
on
much.
the other hand, you on the other hand, sowed quite the wild oats.
We had to rip that poor woman away from Charlie Sheen.
Oh my God. We're just going straight to hell.
Oh, I'm already there.
Okay, good. Be there right behind you. You referenced and teased last week a study that literally all I wrote down on my computer is keto is bad for your body.
Mhm. Yeah.
And this is a study. I was like, oh, what did you find? This is probably some old thing in some random like Reddit article.
Mhm.
Oh no, this is from a week and a half ago in science.org. So that seems pretty official.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you wanna should we freshen everyone's mind? I just
First
shortened it
off, I'm not
yeah,
really sure what science.org is or who
sounds
runs
pretty
that.
credible.
You know what? It does, but we might have. Let's go through this, and then we might have to look out. That could be another. Just kind of like the vegan thing that Michael Greger has,
Oh, right.
how not to die.org or whatever, and they call it something science. I wonder if that's also a vegan thing because
Ooh.
what that's what we should really be, because I spoke to my friend Zoe Harcombe and I said, Zoe, you need to do this. When I sent her the link, she goes through and finds, I found the discrepancies without Zoe, and we're going to talk about that today. But go on. Do we know who owns science.org?
No, not yet. Hold on.
We should probably produce shows off the air, but that's just
would
not
be
how
great.
we roll. These things come up. I never look. This is not the New England Journal of Medicine. This is not right. This is science.org. It sounds. It's not even a .com.
No, I was gonna say that the org is the thing that stuck out. AAAS, the content of the website is owned by AAAS. Okay, what is about science and AAS? We might have to go down a little bit of a rabbit hole on
But
this
it
one.
doesn't matter because people need to know that's what this show is all about. It's exposing what goes on. Look, Morgan Spurlock is dead. I need to carry on here.
That's right.
I need to pick up where he left off.
That's right. Yeah, it's a little, this is opaque. Let's see, a trailblazer in online publishing as well. The Science family of publications has grown into include online journals, Science Translational Medicine, Science Signaling, Science Immunology, Science Robotics, and Science Advances. So it's all under that umbrella. It's a nonprofit. The Science Family of Journals is published by the American Association for the Advancement of Science.
I'm hearing all bullshit so far. I'm not. This is not the NIH. This is not the New England Journal of Medicine. This is not. This is just someone calling themselves .org.
Yeah, a voice of science and scientists everywhere. AAAS fulfills its mission to, quote, advance science and serve society by communicating the value of science to the public. They loved it. Do they get points for using the word science? Helping government formulate science policy, promoting advancements in science education, and helping scientists develop their careers.
Okay, so this is not a peer-reviewed study.
I'm not seeing that.
No. Okay, so number one, we're just learning this on the fly here, folks. Gina cannot find where this is peer-reviewed.
Yeah. Let me.
Okay. So let's start with that. I'm smelling a little bullshit. It might be calf shit at this point, but I'm smelling bullshit.
Yeah. They own basically anything with the word science in it.
Okay, good. So all right, so that's where we are. This is not one of the, journals that, where you get peer reviewed and everything else.
Well,
So,
and this is interesting because we're talking about science.org. And one of the things under their umbrella, one of the many, is science translational medicine. So they're specifically calling out that one, which we are not talking about. Science translational medicine is an essential platform for peer-reviewed, multidisciplinary research driving the latest medical advances. That's not the one we're talking about.
no.
They talked about that one separately.
Okay. So it's in that family, but this is not part of that.
I'm not seeing it.
Okay.
Okay. I mean,
Just
I can
got to
only read
call,
so
we got to
fast, but
call
I'm
it
just,
as we see them.
yeah. If
Right.
I'm wrong, let me know, but I'm just reading the words.
Yeah.
Okay. So now that we got that kind of figured out, again, sounds good. Science.org. It doesn't get
Yeah.
more reliable than that.
Look, if it said science.com or science.gov or
Yeah.
anything like that, but when I heard .org, okay, wait a minute. They couldn't even get the .coms on these, right? Okay. So, all right. So now we're going down that road.
Yeah. No EDU.
Yeah.
So there's a study that raises concerns about keto, about, eating a lot of fat and restricting your carbs, how it could carry a dangerous trade off, which is the accumulation of cells that impair tissue function as we age. So that's the headline.
Okay.
Researchers found mice that were fed on an extreme keto diet with high levels of this. They had high levels of this dysfunctional cell in their vital organs, like their heart and their brain. Though the buildup proved reversible when the rodents took breaks from keto. So they could reverse the damage when they got off keto. While the findings don't definitively prove harm for humans, experts say they underscore the need for greater caution around keto. And it suggests that keto adherents may benefit from an intermittent approach. So you're not just living this way like a wild man like Vinnie. Um,
Okay.
Something that's important to note, should we tell them what they gave the mice?
Well, before we get to that, what was the headline did you see a headline there?
Yep, it is.
Because all people read nowadays are headlines.
Yeah, the headline is Keto Diet May Cause Organ Damage, Mouse Study Finds.
Okay. Keto diet may cause organ damage. What do you think people hear, Gina?
Keto bad.
Keto causes organ damage.
And then the sub headline is high fat, low carb regimen stresses out cells in heart, kidneys, brain, and liver, but effects may be reversible if you
Okay.
stop getting, if you get off keto.
Okay. When I saw this, the first time I saw the headline on Twitter, and I asked the guy who sent it to me. I said, "Hey, where's the study?" And he came right back and sent me the article. Right? He came right back and said, here it is." And I looked at it and I went, "No, no, no. I don't want to study. I don't want a headline in an article. I want a study with an abstract, the whole deal."
Right.
And that's all that was being pushed around online was this article with this salacious headline.
Very.
So,
Sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit.
yeah, see that Gina sneezing her brains out over
Yeah.
there. So the first thing I looked at was I read through the article. And the first thing that popped out to me was it said, we fed mice 90% fat.
Oh.
And I went, okay, there's no keto diet where you eat close to 100% fat.
I mean, wouldn't that just come back out the way it came in? Wouldn't you just, your body would reject
It's
that?
crazy. Right now, I'm doing really, really high fat, and I'm at 65%, maybe
And,
70 on some days. And I'm
and
doing
Vinny is
really high on purpose.
actively committing to as much fat as he can get into
I'm
his
getting
body.
as much coconut oil in my body as I can possibly get
Right.
right now. And I'm doing that because I'm going through chemo.
Right.
So I want to stay in deep ketosis to make sure that I can get my body to heal. So I'm doing the opposite of what these people are saying. But hey, I'm an N1 experiment. These people did a rat study,
Right.
right? So then you go down a little further to figure out what that, I think 90% fat.
Better. Yeah.
What the F were they feeding these mice, Gina?
Crisco.
Crisco.
Vegetable shortening.
Okay, which is hydrogenated seed oil. This is seed oil. I hate using this term, but this is seed oil on steroids.
Bastardized.
Crisco is good for one thing. If you want to lube the axle on your boat trailer, use Crisco. I'm serious. That's what Crisco is used for.
Not for your fried chicken, not for your French fries.
It's a chemical, or I use less harmful grease on my shotgun.
Oh my God.
I'm not kidding. I would never use Crisco. That would be too damaging to a shotgun. These are metal parts, right? This is not made for human consumption.
So we have two problems now. One, even the person who has scheduled in, like Vinnie, getting as much fat into his body as possible is not going to get 90% in. And two, in a million years, Vinnie wouldn't polish gunmetal with Crisco, let alone feed it to himself.
Right.
So we have two big problems right off the top.
Why give yourself a hydrogenated seed oil?
Right.
That's crazy talk. It's literally crazy talk. Yet the salacious headline, hey, if you do this, it's bad for you, but it's okay if you stop, it's reversible. Because we stopped trying to kill these poor rats and they reversed, they got better.
But if they would have just taken the real headline out, and again, I don't know because I didn't do the study and maybe this is all BS anyway, but wouldn't the real headline be, do you want to see what partially hydrogenated seed oil does to a mouse?
Yeah.
Isn't that the headline?
For once, I agree with my friend Alexandra Paul.
Oh.
We need to stop these animal studies where they're giving rats 90% Crisco.
Right.
Now, if the headline read the truth, we gave a bunch of rats Crisco, and guess what? They got really sick. I would go, okay, that makes sense. But that's not what the headline said. Read that headline again, Gina.
The headline said, keto diet may cause organ damage, mouse study finds.
Okay.
But on a keto diet, who's eating Crisco?
Don't know. No one, I don't know anyone who does. I mean, anyone who still buys Crisco. All right. If you're still buying Crisco, you may have a problem. If you're buying Cool Whip, you may still have a problem. These are not actual, Ready Whip, I think, is actually dairy.
Oh, who knows? I'm talking about the Cool Whip that doesn't even come out of a tub. It comes out of the thing that kids huff, teenagers huff and kills them.
No, I think there's actual dairy in that product. I think Ready Whip is actual dairy with a lot of sugar, and they got to have other stuff in that can.
Okay, so we're talking.
Oh, wait, hang on. Let me be very clear, Gina.
Please.
Ready Whip is not healthy, folks. Not for eating or huffing. It's not healthy. It's probably better to huff it.
Please don't.
But don't.
It's not keto. It's not NSNG to huff anything.
Cool Whip. If you can take Cool Whip to a desert, throw it in the desert, leave it there for a week, come back and eat it, and it's still good, probably not good for your body. Same with Crisco.
Very well said.
Okay.
So this headline is out of the mouths of babes here, because I know you're 10 steps ahead of me and already said it, but this headline is complete bullshit. Because there's nothing to do with keto with this mouse study. It wasn't about keto. It was about feeding them seed oil, feeding them Crisco. That's two different studies.
The study should say seed oils are really bad for your body.
That's what I'm saying. Why
in a mouse study?
We fed them Crisco for their whole diet and then they all died. That's the headline.
No, they didn't all die. When they took them off of the seed oils, they miraculously did better
They recovered. So why would you call that keto?
because you're not going to get, you need a headline. Gina,
And sorry, just to promote your movie real quick. This is kind of one of the points of your movie, Dirty
yeah,
Keto,
pretty
is that
much.
you just slap the word keto on anything and then sell it to the public. Well, guess what? That's exactly what this study did, and that's exactly why you need to watch Dirty Keto.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
When I was living in California towards the end, you would walk into a restaurant. Now, I've never understood why a grown man or woman needs a straw, but they like to serve straws with water in
They
restaurants. No
do.
one ever uses a straw at home. You go to a restaurant, the first thing they do is start handing you a straw.
Gotta have
I've
a
never
straw.
understood that.
No.
Makes no sense. But at some point, they started handing us paper straws.
Ugh.
And I'm sitting there going, okay, you put paper in water, it dissolves. And that's what would happen to the straw. I would see my daughter trying to use the straw and it would just collapse in the drink.
Can't be used.
So I started asking questions. Why do we? It's like, oh, because a turtle. You didn't see the picture of the turtle? It's got a straw up the nostril. There's a picture of a turtle with a straw in the nostril. We're killing turtles.
Nobody wants to kill turtles.
Okay. No one knows if that picture was ever real, but let's say it was. Let's say that somehow one sea turtle ended up with a straw. Okay. All the other shit that's floating around in the ocean,
Oh.
you think taking straws out, are you insane?
That's the latest headline is the microplastics that are running around in our bodies. Free range microplastics because we've talked about the Kraft singles, we've talked about all these frankenfoods, and we're way past straws, people. It's already inside of us.
There's this guy, he's coming back on the show for the second time. His name was Mike. He's a Brit who went around the North Pole, around Greenland and Iceland, like 5 or 6,000 miles in a kayak.
Mm.
And since he was doing this crazy thing, I can't remember how many thousand, but like a lot of miles. I'm saying 5 or 6. I might be exaggerating. Some company said, "Hey, we'll pay for your trip, but we need you to scoop up seal shit for us and bring it back. We're studying seal shit." And the guy went, "Pooh, you'll pay for my trip? I'll collect some seal shit for you. I'll be getting out of the water right next to seal shit every day. Why not scoop some up for you guys?" They found microplastics in seal manure.
Oh.
So when you can go to a desolate place like Iceland and Greenland, you would think it's the most pristine place on the planet.
Of course.
And you can find microplastic in seal poop. You know it's everywhere. We don't have a chance.
Yeah.
We need to do everything we can. You know, I talked last week about living in this bubble right now because my immune system is weakened. You know, doing everything I can, exercising here,
Yep.
getting sun, taking my vitamins, eating on point. But the question is, why don't we do that every day, all day? I get it. Everything tastes good and nummy and everything else.
Yeah.
But come on, folks. What are we doing? I put a tweet out there. Gina sent me a thing. We might talk about it in the next show.
I was just going to bring that up.
Bring it up, Gina.
Okay.
You sent that to me, and I took out the part you sent, the personal part about what was in it. Let's talk about it in this show.
Let's talk about it.
You know, I took out the personal part, and I went and tweeted the rest. Go on, Gina.
Look at my son's lunch choices for tomorrow. And since the lunch is free, I have no control over if he ignores what I pack him and he eats this garbage. And the choice for the day was chicken nuggets and potatoes or Parmesan garlic noodles and cheese-filled bread. And if you don't like either of those, you can have a PB&J.
Yeah.
One entree is Parmesan garlic noodles and cheese-filled bread. And he couldn't wait to get to school for that. And it doesn't because it's free, because there's no lunch tickets anymore, like back in our day. I don't I don't make those choices. I can, use little cookie cutouts and make the fruit look fun and do all the things, but sometimes it just comes home as I sent it because he can just choose it on his own.
Yeah, it's there for him. And every kid, look, I remember smelling those hot buns at 11 o'clock cooking in the cafeteria.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, oh my God, that, whichever class I had right before lunch, you cannot think straight when you smell the wafting
Yep.
of bread.
Those dinner
Which,
rolls.
oh, and it's like, oh my God, I'm going to kill 6 of those. I will, because the football players, we would eat our meal. You only got like one tray of food. They
Yeah,
gave you like a tray
sure.
and they put some potatoes and they put a piece of meat or chicken or fish and they would slop a few things in there. And if you were going to be playing football at 3 o'clock, there was no snacking.
Right.
We didn't snack. I would eat everything I can and go around to everyone. It's like, whatever you guys are. And they learned, hey, whatever we're not eating, they would just come by and
Bring it
slop
over.
a hog,
You gonna
just
finish
slop
that?
it on your plate. Well, you're not eating that bun right here. And more butter on it. We
Can
would
I
just eat everything because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
all we had.
Absolutely. And here he's getting a lunchbox full of all the other he loves charcuterie. I send salami and cheese and pickles and pieces of watermelon and, like stuff that he eats happily, roll-ups, whatever, like sandwiches, but instead of 2 pieces of bread, he'll just do a, tortilla 'cause he likes those. But there I can't compete with school lunch with cheese-filled bread. I can't compete with it. And
Right.
can I say what you wrote back and then tweeted publicly?
Yeah. I wrote this.
And I'll just cut that part out here. Okay. You said, "It's amazing that parents spend so much time worrying about their kids getting into the right preschool, kindergarten, and all the way through 12th grade in order to get into a good college that will eventually F up their brains. But the one thing that matters the most is the whole equation is nutrition and exercise. I get it. I'm a hammer, so everything becomes a nail. But exercise along with proper nutrition is what makes the brain function the way it's supposed to function."
We've known this through eternity that the brain functions better. I've had experts on this show, on the Friday show, come on and talk about the importance. They said when we took PE out, when we started taking recesses out, just so we could catch up and do more and more and more and more, it's not good.
Right.
It's not good. Kids have to get out. They need to get sunshine. They need to run around. They need to skin up their knees. I mean, I knew it was over with when we took the monkey bars out.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
knew we would never see another kid with a protective helmet on their head after they bashed themselves from falling backwards off of the monkey bars.
Yeah.
You know, we're supposed to be out there doing that. We're supposed to be climbing and jumping and running and skinning up our knees and doing everything. When you start taking that out, you're doing a disservice to these kids. That's number one. Number two, it's the food.
Yeah.
We're just talking about the mouse study. I'd rather see the kids eat the Crisco from what Gina just said.
And that's what's so sick. I remember you saying, I think this is from the movie, um, like, well, it's hard to quote unquote diet, I'm speaking pejoratively, but, and do NSNG when my family isn't doing it. I'm doing the right thing, but my kids are having the chips and the cookies and the Twinkies and the stuff. So it's hard for me. And I believe you said something to the effect of, why are you giving that to your kids? These tiny bodies and these tiny brains that are very plastic and are this is the time to set them on the right path. Why are we, for lack of a better word, poisoning them? It's okay for them, but it's not okay for us?
I hear it in the consults every day, 5 days a week. People say, well, I'm trying to do the right thing, but the food is around. And I'll say, well, just remove it, throw it away. And it's like, yeah, but I have kids. And I always make them stop and go, think about what you just said.
Yeah.
You're trying to make your life better and get healthy, but you're going to serve that crap to you. And once they hear that, they go, oh my God, I was doing it too.
I never thought about it that way until you said it either.
Yeah. It's like, but I have kids, and I always talk about this famous rapper, had me come over to his house
I think about this
and,
all the time.
we were throwing away all the barbecue, and he was into he loved cereal more than Jerry Seinfeld. This guy had and we bagged it all up, and he had his they call them the posse. He's got all these
Mhm.
guys, and their pants were drooping down their legs and the whole thing. And he said, "Get all this. We're taking it over. We're going to take it over to to East LA, and we're going to hand it out." He
Yeah.
had tons because look, these guys were they live up in Bel Air. They
Right.
got 3 Sub-Zeros, and they got
Right.
2 pantries and the whole thing. It's a lot of food. They were taking not garbage bags, but trash bags of food out of there. And I said to him, I said, "So you're not going to eat this, but you're going to subject these poor people in the hood?" And he goes, "Yeah, yeah, it's better than nothing." I said, "No, it's not better than nothing. You're hurting them even further. They never get a good meal." And he thought about it for a second, and he called his main guy over. He goes, "We're going shopping." And he filled up 2 or 3 SUVs full of good food, meat and the whole
Real
thing.
food, yeah.
And it became a news story,
That's so great.
right? Someone covered it. He went there and just delivered all this great food.
That's so and that's the thing, it's like sometimes it's so obvious that we can't see it. We need you to kind of give us another click in the kaleidoscope because I would say the same thing. Well,
Yeah,
this food hasn't been touched, it's sealed, I'm not gonna eat it anymore, why not give it to somebody who needs it? And then you go, "Well, why do you wanna continue hurting these people? They already have this.
yeah.
They need stuff that's nourishing."
And I get it. Just because you went and gave them a piece of meat today, it doesn't mean they're going to get it tomorrow and the next day.
Right.
But you know what? They got one good meal.
Yeah,
It's a start.
yeah,
You know,
absolutely. You're so right, because I say this, and I honestly don't know if I would have ever said this had I not met you. And we used to talk on the Corolla show, don't put a lot of energy around food or you're gonna give your kid an eating disorder, no, say,
right?
"That's bad, 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 you stop it," it's gonna freak them out and it's gonna backfire. But, so trust me when I say my kid gets plenty of treats. But in general, it's like it's a treat, it's not a staple of your diet. We like, for his lunch, I told you all the stuff I put in it, and then
Right.
instead of a sprinkle size cupcake, he gets remember I don't think they do this anymore, but, like, at a nice-ish restaurant or maybe you're a little teeny tiny bit, upscale casual, they'll give you one of those Andes chocolate mints that are about
Yeah, 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 yeah.
he gets one
Little
of those.
sliver. Yeah,
And Andy's mint, like and that's enough, trust me, it's chocolatey, it's minty, you're happy. That's the treat, and
yeah,
that's good enough, and, so when he wants "But I want my friends have a super gulp of slushy and Gatorade, and why don't I?" And I always say the same thing, "'Cause your body is not a trash can."
yeah.
And that's all I say. I go, "We love you too much to treat your body like a trash can." Do you get a happy meal every once in a while? Absolutely. Do you have a treat? Are we gonna beat you over the head with this so it backfires and you get an eating disorder? No, we are not. But we love you too much to treat your body day in and day out like it's a trash can. It is not.
Gina, every parent needs to hear that message. As a matter of fact, you should put that on my extra family.
Maybe I will.
My body's not a trash can.
Yeah. Because
And
I don't know a simpler way to tell a 6-year-old.
well, I mean, that's all you have to say.
Yeah.
That is literally all you have to say.
And
Your
because I say
body's
it to
not a trash can.
myself. I say it to myself when I'm struggling and I'm in a dark place with my eating. I go, "Okay," or I say to myself, "Does my mouth want it or does my body want it?" Because trust me, my body does not want this, but I'm being tricked right now. I am not a trash can. I'm better than trash.
Yeah,
And I have to tell him this, like I made very clear, we don't have him in our watch 24 hours a day. So,
right.
this is somebody you have to start hoping that they make good choices, and when you put it that simply, he can't argue with it. He can say, "Okay, I still like candy, fine," but he's not gonna argue with the message.
A truer statement has never been said. And we're going to end the show on that because it doesn't get any better than that, Gina.
I have not a study, but, an experimental weight loss thing that is so grotesque to me, I almost wasn't gonna bring it up, and I was gonna delete it from my news for you because I don't wanna talk about it because
Mm.
it makes me sick, but, maybe that's a good tease for next week because it's really gonna be hard for me to get at. It's vile. And I would love for you to I would love to
Is
find
it
out if
more
Vince heard that.
vile than killing mice with Crisco?
Yes.
Wow. Well, folks, you got to tune in next week. By the way, go check out Gina Grad. She's everywhere all at once.
I'm just like the movie.
Yeah.
That's right. My Extra Family is my family and parenting account. Please join me there. It's focuses on everybody, but a little extra love to step parents. My Extra Family on Instagram. Also on Instagram, grain-free comfort food inspired long ago by Vinnie and Anna. All my recipes up there. Please join me over there. And of course, just my regular Gina Grad account. And if you want to make someone's day with a really lovely book, if I do say so myself, go to Amazon. Of course, click through Vinny's banner first on his website and get My Extra Mom. It's a children's book about step families. I hope you enjoy it.
This show is coming out on the 5th of June.
So you've had time to see Dirty Keto by now.
Yeah. Go, if you didn't get it, get it. If you already got it, go rate and review it, because that's how we get other people to find it. So go check out Dirty Keto at Amazon. Rent it, buy it, give it to a friend.
Yes.
Right? Just go do it. Go do it, please. Go do that. That's about it. You know what to do. Blah, blah, blah. Amazon, blah, blah, blah. By the way, you can go through VinnieTortorich.com to go get the Vinnie Tortorich movie. And if you need to buy toothpaste or anything else, all of that counts. And that's how we keep the show running. So go, please do that. On behalf of Gina Grad, my name is Vinnie Tortorich. Put life into living, and let's do it with a little bit more of the Aussie man and Lita Ford.